and they absorb about 80 to 85% of it through their stomatal pores. Virtually, about 50% of the solar energy absorbed by the plants is used by them for the process of photosynthesis. Plants store this energy in their food in the form of potential or stored energy. From plants, this energy gets distributed to the other organisms of the ecosystem. This is the reason why plants are called producers, and they represent the first trophic level in the ecosystem. An ecosystem comprises of 4 trophic levels, namely the producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. In an ecosystem, the energy flows from producers to consumers. At every stage of the ecosystem, a huge quantity of potential energy gets released in the form of heat or thermal power. This occurs through processes like respiration and other such biological metabolisms and mechanisms of organisms that are present at the trophic level of the ecosystem.
Summary. Let us recap the highlights of this chapter.
An ecosystem is the fundamental and functional unit of nature that coordinates various phenomena. This term was first coined by A.Z. Tansley. An ecosystem can be small or large, temporary or permanent. It consists of both biotic and abiotic components. Biotic is the living component, while abiotic is the non-living component of nature. Both biotic and abiotic components are interrelated and interdependent. The interaction among the biotic components results in food chains and food webs. A food chain consists of 4 trophic or energy levels, namely producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. Plants are the originators or initiators of any food chain, and they form the base for producing food. Hence, they are called producers. Herbivores or plant-eating animals are dependent on plants for food and fall under the category of primary consumers. Carnivores or flesh-eating animals depend on herbivores for food and fall under the category of secondary consumers. Decomposers or recyclers degrade or break down the dead matter of plants and animals. Biosphere is the largest ecosystem. It is divided into many other types. The mangrove ecosystem at Coringa is a well-known example for mangrove system. It is situated south of the Kakinada Bay, 150 kilometers south of Visakhapatnam. It is enriched by various plants and animal sources. The desert ecosystem possesses extreme temperatures and livelihood. Deserts uphold typical flora and fauna. The camel is a very important animal of the desert ecosystem. It is called sheep of the desert. Every forest ecosystem owns large and diversified kinds of flora and fauna. Energy flow in the ecosystem is regulated by plants through photosynthesis, which in turn are dependent on the solar energy. At each energy level of the ecosystem, a large amount of energy is given out in the form of heat. This can occur through biological processes like respiration, etc. This released energy doesn't enter the ecosystem ever again.
Read the questions and attempt the answers on your own. You can click Answer for your reference.
Follow-up work. List out producers, consumers, and decomposers that you have observed in your agricultural area or school garden. A certain ecosystem consists of mice and cats. Estimate the repercussions if more cats were added to that ecosystem, and also calculate as to what should be done to bring back balance. Look at the pictures that are displayed below. Do you find a mode of connection among them? Just think of what would happen if the rabbit were removed from here. Observe the given food web carefully and answer the questions. Name the producers in the given food web. Name the consumers. Name the organisms where the food web enters. What happens when plants and animals in the food web die? Collect information on the forests of Andhra Pradesh from your school library or internet and find the flora and fauna and fill in the given tabular column.
Test your understanding of the lesson by taking the mock unit test